Okay, so like everyone get ready because today we're going to be taking a look at AI. More specifically, how Alibaba, the Chinese tech giant, is like making moves that could impact all of us. You know, we've got a bunch of research papers, news articles, even some insider info to break down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so consider this like your cheat sheet to understanding what's happening and like why it even matters to you.
Well, I think what's really fascinating here is how this changes the way we normally think about these things. You know, we tend to think of Alibaba as like the Amazon of China, but they're doing things that make them a serious rival to like the big AI players, you know, OpenAI, Google, that sort of thing.
Right, like it's not just about selling you the newest gadget. It's about like the brains behind it or even like building the brain that builds those gadgets. We're talking about their new Qwen family of AI models. Have you heard about these?
Yeah, I have. And what's interesting to me is how it seems like each model is made for a different purpose. Like they've got Qwen 2.5 VL, which is their vision language model. And this one can like analyze video and images just as well as text. So like imagine controlling all the smart devices in your home with just your voice. But at the same time, it's also like summarizing everything your security cameras are recording.
Oh, wow. And then they've got like the bigger, more powerful one, like a Qwen 2.5 Max. And this one is built for handling the really tough tasks. Alibaba is saying this model can tackle problems that make even the best AI models out there struggle.
And they're not being shy about it either. Alibaba's actually released benchmarks suggesting that Qwen 2.5 VL is actually beating out models like OpenAI's GPT-4o and Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet, especially when it comes to understanding those really complex things you find in videos and long documents.
Wait, so are they saying they're beating the best? What are they doing differently to get those results? Is it like the data they're using to train these models?
Yeah.
Or like some totally new architecture? Or are we seeing a shift in how we're even measuring AI performance?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It could be a few things all working together, you know. I mean, they are known for having tons of data from all their different platforms. And they've been spending a lot to get the best AI people, but it's also possible they found completely new ways to train these models. And that, I think if we look at the big picture, we're seeing a shift in power in the tech world. The U.S. has always been the leader in AI, but China, with companies like Alibaba, is catching up fast. And this isn't just about national pride. It's about controlling a technology that could change basically every industry we can think of.
And maybe even change who has the most power around the world. So we've got these super powerful AI models that are easy for developers to use, backed by a company with, you know, really big plans. Where do you see this all going?
It's almost like they've opened the doors and started an AI gold rush. The next few years are going to be huge for figuring out how this all plays out. Will we see a ton of new companies and apps that use AI? Will Alibaba's plan work and make them like the center of the AI world?
And maybe the most important question is, how will this affect us? You know, the everyday people who use this technology. You know, it's almost like we're living in one of those sci-fi movies now. But before we get too lost in thinking about the future, I kind of want to go back to those claims about Qwen beating the other AIs. Are we really comparing the same things here?
Yeah, that's really important. It's not so simple to compare different AI models. They might be good at different things. And the data you use to compare them can really change the results.
Right. So like Qwen 2.5 VL might be amazing at understanding videos, but maybe there's another model that's still way better at writing code or composing music.
Exactly. And we have to think about, you know, who's making these claims. Obviously, Alibaba wants to show their models in the best possible light, right? So we need other researchers who aren't connected to Alibaba to look at it too, to really know how good these models are.
It's like those ads for phones where they only show you the situations where their battery lasts longer. So how should we, like as people who want to understand AI news, how should we look at these claims?
I think you got to look past the headlines. Pay attention to the specific tasks they're talking about and the data they used. And if you can try to understand how they did the comparison and look for analyses from people who aren't on either side, it's about understanding the details, not just getting caught up in the hype.
That's a good point. Speaking of hype, there's another thing about Alibaba's approach that I find really interesting and maybe even a little surprising. They're moving towards open sourcing.
Yeah, that's a smart move. By making some of their Qwen models and tools available to everyone, Alibaba is encouraging people to work together and build on what they started.
I'll be honest, I was surprised when I first heard about this. Isn't this kind of openness unusual for a company like Alibaba, especially when it seems like they want to be the leader in AI?
Well, yeah, it used to be that companies were very secretive about their AI stuff. They saw it as like their secret weapon. But more and more companies are realizing that open source can be a good thing even if they have big goals.
So it's not just them being nice, there's a strategy behind it.
Definitely. When they open source their stuff, Alibaba gets to tap into the minds of AI people all over the world. Imagine thousands of developers playing around with their models, finding new uses for them, and maybe even finding ways to make them better. It's like crowdsourcing innovation on a massive scale.
That's really smart. And it probably helps them attract the best AI talent, too, people who want to work on cutting-edge stuff that lots of people will use. It's like they're building a whole AI ecosystem with Alibaba at the center.
Exactly. It's a win-win. Alibaba gets valuable feedback and contributions, and developers get access to powerful tools. It's this kind of collaboration that could lead to the next big breakthroughs in AI.
So we've got these powerful AI models that are easy for developers to use, and they're using a collaborative approach. Now let's talk about the real world. How is Alibaba actually using this AI?
Well, since they started with e-commerce, it makes sense that they're really focused on changing online shopping.
I'm definitely a fan of personalized recommendations, but the ones I see now are often not that great. Can you give me an example of what a truly AI-powered shopping experience would be like?
Okay, so imagine you're looking for a new pair of headphones. Instead of just seeing random suggestions, the AI looks at what you've bought before, what you've looked at online, and even your social media to recommend headphones that are perfect for you.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. But what about those times when you need a little extra help? We've all had to deal with those annoying chatbots. Could AI actually make customer service better?
Yeah, definitely. Alibaba's making AI-powered chatbots that can understand what you're saying, answer complicated questions, and even know what you need before you ask. Imagine a chatbot that not only helps you find the right product, but also walks you through the whole buying process, from picking the right size to paying for it all in a natural and personalized way.
So no more repeating yourself a million times or getting stuck in those endless phone menus? Sounds good to me. But it seems like Alibaba has even bigger plans than just e-commerce. They're involved in so many different industries.
Yeah,
Where else are they using AI?
you're right. Their plans are huge. They're looking at AI-powered solutions for logistics, healthcare, entertainment, basically everything. Like in logistics, imagine AI figuring out the best delivery routes, predicting changes in demand, and even managing robots in warehouses all super efficiently.
It's like something out of a futuristic movie where robots are zipping around, filling orders super fast. What about healthcare? That seems like an area with tons of potential, but also lots of risks.
It is. Alibaba's doing research on using AI for things like analyzing medical images, giving personalized treatment recommendations, and even detecting diseases early. Imagine an AI that can look at medical scans and be even better than human doctors at finding problems. That could mean catching serious conditions early when they're easier to treat.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about all the things AI could do. We've gone from AI helping us pick out headphones to maybe even saving lives. But there's one thing that I keep thinking about.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. It's the big question, right?
Yeah.
What happens to jobs?
Right, if AI can do all this amazing stuff, what happens to all the people who do those jobs now? Are we all going to be replaced by robots, or is it more complicated than that?
I think it's definitely more complicated. AI and jobs is a really complex issue. It's true that AI will automate some things, which could mean some people lose their jobs, but it'll also probably create new jobs too.
So it's not like a one-to-one thing where one robot equals one less human job.
Not at all. Think about when computers first came out. People thought everyone would be out of work. But instead, we got tons of new jobs in things like software development, data analysis, all that digital stuff.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So instead of being scared of AI taking our jobs, we should be thinking about how to adapt and get ready for these changes. What kind of skills do you think will be most important in a world with so much AI?
That's a great question. The things that humans are really good at that AI can't do as well, those are going to be really valuable. Things like critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, solving tough problems, and being able to work together and communicate well.
So the jobs of the future might not even exist yet, but we can start preparing by focusing on those human skills. But what about all the ethical stuff? We've been talking about how great AI could be, but there's some risks too, right?
Oh, definitely. We have to be careful and responsible with AI. We need to think about things like bias in algorithms, protecting people's data, and making sure there are rules for how AI is developed and used.
And who's in charge of making those rules? Is it the government tech companies or everyone?
I think it has to be everyone working together. We need people from the government, industry researchers, and the public all talking to each other. It's important to talk honestly about how AI could affect us, both the good and the bad. And then we need to work together to make sure AI benefits everyone.
That's a good point. So as we finish up our deep dive into Alibaba's AI plans, I think it's safe to say that we're living in a time of huge change. AI has incredible potential, but it also comes with some big challenges. It's up to all of us to stay informed and be involved in shaping how this powerful technology will be used.
And remember, the future isn't something that just happens to us. We create the future. And with AI, we have this tool that can either make us better or make things worse. The choices we make now will decide which way we go.
That's a really important thing to remember. Thanks for joining us as we explored Alibaba's AI ambitions. It's been a fascinating discussion, and I have a feeling this is only the beginning.